Hey everybody, we wanted to send a video for a few reasons. First off, I know there have been times we've tried to host some caregiver meetings and have you all come in the office and try to be accommodating to different schedules and people that are either over at the Verde Valley or maybe doing shifts in the further parts of our territory. But we thought a video would be a great way. You can watch this at your leisure. We really wanted to make sure that we got a few things out to you. First off, I just want to tell you, I've now been a part of the Homestead Network myself for about 6.5 years. The time really has gone by very quickly. A lot of things that I'm still learning, a lot of things I'm gathering, and a lot of that has actually come through the relationships that I have with you caregivers. You really have taught me a lot about what our vision and mission is. So thank you for everything that you do. It was really important when I started doing this. I just had in my mind, I thought, who are the people that are going to come and take care of the clients, go into the people's homes? And the number one thing for me really wasn't a certain experience level or training. It was what I kind of generically labeled as just being good humans. And I really do believe we have a lot of really, really good humans. And it may sound silly to say that, but that's something that I think can be taken for granted because there are a lot of people out there that we would not want to be a part of this company, of what we're doing. I do want to let you know that one of the things I've experienced and seen over the years is the relationship between the people in the office or the office staff with the caregivers. You may have heard recently, and sometimes I kind of go back and forth, referring to caregivers as care professionals, caregivers. So we are using those terms synonymously with each other. So we do consider you to be a professional. And we want our clients to know that, and the clients' families in particular, to know that this is a professional caregiving business that's providing people that have support, that they're resourced, and that they're going to know what to do for their shifts. So that being said, I do want you to know that when communication comes from the office, we don't mean to be frustrating, irritating, overbearing. These are my words. These are not things that you've necessarily said to me or others directly, but there is a sense of that, I believe, at times, because I know that we can communicate a lot. We get a lot of sense of urgency with many of our clients at different times. You may even get a voicemail or a call from me saying, hey, I know the office has called you. They've reached out to you. But here we are again because it is something that's really important or there's something that's urgent going on with a client. So I wanted to remind you, please, just if you would respond to messages that we leave you, if it's a voicemail, please call us back. Just call into the office, even if it's after hours. One of these gals in the office, they have the phone, so if you call the office number, it's going to transfer over to them, and you can talk with them and get back with them. It's really important, even if it's just a quick, hey, got your message, I can't help you out, I can't do it. If you would let us know, then we are able to communicate with a client instead of saying, well, we're still waiting to hear back from people. And that can really put a burden on the family sometimes because they're counting on us and hoping that we hear back from one of you that they're going to have care that day, that night, or maybe the next morning. So please respond and reply to those voicemails. If you get a text from us, that really is more of a notification. We can do that a lot quicker. We can send those out as a big group message instead of calling everybody individually. We can get a message out very quickly. But texting back to that, we actually don't receive those. So that's why on those messages we say, please call the office when you get the message. So please call back and talk with us about that. It really is important so that we know how we can best serve and communicate with the client. I promise we're not trying to be annoying or communicate too much. We really are just trying to resource you and also to serve the clients best, which I know is what we're all in this for. With talking with the clients also, I know it can be very tempting to talk with them directly. We always tell people when they are onboarding and coming to work here, not to give your personal cell phone number or contact information with the client. I know it's hard to tell people no sometimes when they ask, and it sounds like something that's not that big a deal, but I really can't tell you how many times that the office that we are unaware or we are not notified of a shift change, whether it's in time or day, and then we call you and want to know why you're not clocked in or even clocked out if a shift was extended, and it's because something was arranged with the client directly and we were not notified. And so you can actually go through, like, as far as your compensation, there can be what would end up being a mistake, but we're unaware, so you may not be paid accordingly. And then of course with the client, they're not billed accordingly, and sometimes it can actually impact their long-term care insurance provider. Some people actually can't cancel shifts and go without. If they go without, the insurance company finds out about it, they can become ineligible for continuing benefits. Those are fewer and far between, but that has happened before, where someone actually lost their long-term care benefits, and the client may not be thinking about that. You may be unaware that they're even receiving those benefits, and so please resist the urge or the temptation to communicate directly with the client. If they pressure you about it, just say, look, this isn't on me. Please call the office and ask or talk to them about it. We always try to accommodate when you guys need a break and need time off. I believe that there are times when you have something maybe pop up short notice, but please give us as much time as you can. If you need a break, if you need to go on vacation or something, we just ask that you let us know as soon as you know, so that we can either find a fill-in, communicate with the family, see the best way to move forward. And also, we want to make sure that you have what you need so that you can continue, because we're in this for the long haul. Obviously, we want you to be as well, to continue on as a part of the team. Availability kind of fits in that too. Yeah, you need time off, and we all do, right? We need to re-energize, we need a break sometimes. And with what you guys do, I mean, you are the boots on the ground, so to speak, and so you're in the trenches. You're spending the time with those clients on a daily and weekly basis. We know your availability may change, but I want you to please have, some empathy for the office staff, in that we take clients on when we know, or we have a confidence level that we can serve them with the caregivers that we have, with the hours and the days of the week they say that they can work. So if we take a client and they say, hey, I need Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 8 to 2, and we have a caregiver that wants 20 hours a week, for example, and they don't have those days filled, but they tell us they can work those days, we take the client and we call you. And it's actually been pretty common lately that we reach out to this caregiver or care professional and they say, oh, I don't want to do that. And then we're kind of stuck in a bind of going, oh goodness, we were taking this client because we have a caregiver says they can work during this time, and then they say no, and now we're scrambling. And so please know that a lot of times if we reach out to you as a caregiver and we ask you to take a shift or a client that is outside of your regular availability that you've given us, it's because most likely a different caregiver is not taking hours that is within when they've told us they're available. So if we reach out to you when you've told us you prefer not to, it's because someone has decided not to work when they've told us that they would be available. There is one more thing that I want to mention before I conclude. It's so important. When you call in and call out, clocking in and clocking out for each shift, the telephony messages are so important, and we go through those actually daily. Somebody in this office is listening to every single telephony message that is left. If you would please, as best you can, we really are asking, it's just a short little message, if you would put on them, even though you've clocked in, digitally, when you leave that telephony message, please tell us what time you clocked in, what time you clocked out, and if there was any change in condition with the client. And even if there wasn't, just say there was no change in condition, everything was great. And if there was any mileage for the shift, let us know what the purpose of the mileage for, because we actually include that with that day's or night's shift, so that the client can be reminded to have the purpose behind why there was mileage, so that you can get reimbursed accordingly. So thank you so much. I know that may sound like a tedious task, but it is so important for your own compensation, and then for billing and invoicing the clients appropriately. We love the way that you build the personal relationships with the clients. It really is great to see. We've been getting some really good feedback from many of our clients, especially the ones that we've had for quite a while, and the relationships that develop over time with the caregiver. So thank you so much for seeing beyond just the task at hand, You don't just go in and do things around the house, do their laundry, help them in the bathroom, and let that be it. You know and understand that their needs are not physical only, that they have emotional needs, that you are supplying them with socialization, that you're a friend to them. And so we really appreciate that. I know that we like to remind ourselves of the professional boundaries that we're to have, but at the same time, I really want to give you a big thank you so much for building the relationships and being such a support to the family that you are. Thanks so much, y'all.